Alright, to start us off, we're going to solve a couple linear equations. Solve three of them, one with fractions that we're going to do a couple different ways. But again, remember the goal is, let's find x. Some variable stands for a number. Sometimes it could be more than one. Linear equations are only going to have one solution. So let's start by simplifying left and right hand side here. So we distribute the 3. Remember that when we write it next to it here, this means multiplication. So 3 times 2x is 6x. And then 3 times a subtracted 5 is going to be subtracted 15, negative 15. And then that minus x is still there. Now negative 7 times x is negative 7x. And negative 7 times 3 is a negative 21. And then we have some like terms on the left here. 6x minus x is 5x. And then we still have the negative 15. And so now we've simplified the left-hand side. Now let's just get all of the x's on the same side. So add 7x to both sides. Add 7x. And you could subtract 5x. I add 7x to avoid the negatives. Don't know why. Just an aversion to the negatives. But then at the same time, to get the 15 away from the x, we're trying to get the x by itself, we add the 15 and we get a negative 6. So, who knows? Now, 12 times some number equals negative 6. So let's divide by 12 to get the x by itself, because that cancels out. So we get negative 6 over 12, and that reduces to negative 1/2, because you can take a 6 out of the top and the bottom. So negative 1/2 is your answer. Let's do the same thing with the next one. Remember that you can plug in your answer here, and you should get both sides equal to the same number. So negative x, again let's simplify this by distributing. 3x plus 15 minus 6 equals 2x plus 9. So combine some like terms, a negative x and a 3x. This is negative 1x. So that equals 2x together. 15 minus 6 is 9. So you get 2x plus 9 and 2x plus 9. But I set it up that way. So, subtract 2x from both sides. What happens is you get 0. It cancels out completely. Subtract 9 from both sides, and you get 0. It cancels out completely. 0 equals 0. And that's odd because we're trying to find x, but we can't find x because it disappeared. It canceled out. And so, if you have 2 times some number plus 9 on one side, and 2 times some number plus 9 on the other side, any number is going to solve that equation because you have the same thing on both sides. So this is a true statement, and because 0 equals 0, every number is a solution. Every single number. Go ahead and try it out. Try 5. Try 10. Try negative 7.2. Try it out. You will get every single number being an answer. I've been writing out this step, plus 7x plus 7x. You'll find that as we get into more advanced math, algebra 2 per se, we won't be writing that step. We'll just be seeing what the difference is from this step to this step, and we'll be able to notice that. It's just to save a little bit of time and not show every single part. So you'll enjoy that. So this next one, same exact question, but we're going to solve it 2 different ways. First time I'm actually going to deal with the fractions. So let's combine the x's. This is 2/3 x, and this is 1x. So if I subtract 2/3 x from both sides, subtract 2/3 x. 1 minus 2/3 is 1/3 x. Because remember that 1, if I change it to a common denominator of 3, is really 3/3 x. But most of you guys are pretty good with doing, okay, well 1 minus 2/3 leaves a third. And so then to get the 3/8 on the other side, I'm going to add 3/8 to both sides. Add 3/8. So that canceled out. This cancels out. The opposite of subtracting 3/8. So we have a 1/12 plus 3/8 on this side. So the deal with this, anytime you have fractions and you're adding them, you need common denominators. Most of you guys remember this. So 12 and 8. So 8 doesn't go into 12, but it does go into 24, and so if we make this 24, that's our common denominator. So we're going to have to multiply the first one by 2 over 2, so we get 2 24ths plus 8 times 3 is 24, so 3 over 3. Remember, we're multiplying it by a form of 1, so we get 9 24ths. So we get 11 over 24 equals 1/3 x. So how do you get rid of a 1/3 times x? Well, you divide by 1/3. But dividing by 1/3 is the same thing as if you just multiplied by 3. So multiply by 3, it cancels out the 1/3. And 3, let's cross cancel multiplying fractions. You multiply straight across. So I put 3 over 1. But I can cross cancel the 3 with the 24. And that leaves 8 and the 1. Because 3 goes into 24 8 times. So x equals 11/8. I'm going to do the same problem, but I like to eliminate the fraction to begin with. And how I do that is by killing it at the beginning. Sounds harsh, but we don't really prefer working with fractions anyways. So, multiply through by the common denominator. Lowest common denominator. So that would be 24 like we had on the last problem. So 24 times 2/3 x plus 24 times 1/12 equals 24 times x minus 24 times 3/8. So cross cancel, you get 8. So 8 times 2x is 16x. Cross cancel 24 and 12. 12 goes into 24 2 times. Cross cancel 24 with the 8. 24 and 8, 8 goes in 3 times, so you get minus 9. So, subtract 16x. When you subtract 16, that leaves the 4 and the 4, so 8x. And add the 9 to both sides, and you get 11. So this is what I was saying, I'm not always going to write down those steps. Notice how I got from one step to the next. And then divide by 8 and you get 11/8. And we're done. And we get the exact same number. Not a problem. Not very pretty, but doable. We can deal with the fractions. That's all I ask you to do. Don't need you to like them. Just that they're able to be dealt with. Alright. Good luck.